gonna shut my mic off here.
Cool. I am going to be doing Gur McDowell or Children's Song by Bella Bartok. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So comments for Monty.
From me or to me?
Either way.
Ah, I got a little shook up, couple little left hand mistakes, and there's definitely one chord I didn't mean to strum that I did because I just got like my mind was going, and then the hand just got locked up, and it was a real like I gotta push through somehow, you know. But other than that, I think with those two little hiccups, I had one spot I know for sure I have to still get the hand locked in on. But other than that, I feel pretty okay with that. I think.
Hey, I wanted to look at that with you. Can you play that spot? Just show me
Yeah.
that spot again. I just want to see that one more time. What?
Yeah.
Because I was wondering about that when you did it.
So the spot, well, the one spot I know for sure was it goes. Oh, oh, sorry. Right
Yeah,
there's that
you
one.
know, Monty, the way you just did that. Now, when you did it in the performance, you didn't do that. You went to a funny. You did something weird with your hand, I think.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, it was just
I think I think you got maybe you were just a little afraid you weren't going to hit it. You know.
yeah,
See,
that's definitely like one of the spots that for even as long as I've been working on this one, I always am still. I got. Cause I just know that like it's like a one finger will mess up me on that chord there to make it
yeah.
ugly, you know.
Well, like you just did it quite well. I thought that time. Do it one more time like that. Let's just do that again because that was pretty. I thought that was really good. Yeah, that's nice the way you're doing it because you know what, you're just like really relaxing your hand and you're just letting it go and you're giving it time. Sometimes you know when those things happen, you got to give it. You just got to like give your hand time to do it.
Hmm.
And if you try to push it too fast, you'll lock up and you get nervous. You can't do it. You know.
Yeah.
But one thing that David Russell I've heard and I've heard other people say this. You believe in the next note.
Hmm.
You know, it's just like an attitude you can take that might help. you
Yeah.
just you just decide you're going to. It's like, you know, sometimes you might notice when you're playing, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to hit this, or I might not hit it. You know, that's not believing in the next note, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But you, if you notice that, you can say, well, let me try to just see if I can believe in the next note a little more.
Hmm.
You know, it's a like a forward leaning attitude that
Yeah,
you
definitely. Yeah.
believe things are going to be okay. You know, in And sometimes you have to slow things down a bit to make it feel like that, because it is, I think it's easy to get into that mode where you're like, oh God, I don't know if I could do, that, which is
Yeah,
totally the opposite.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not believing that you can do it. I think it's something that you can cultivate if you're aware of it and decide to.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that was nice. I like what you did. I can see you guys have been I see your teacher's been helping you a lot with that. So that's good. Neat.
Hey, Monty,
Yeah,
sounded great. Just a couple things. Your left hand, sometimes it cups a little bit.
I know.
I know we talk about that. Just
I try, man. There's something about how my thumb wants to rest. I know. I've been trying my hardest to make it not cup.
right. And then sometimes your rubato sounds like hesitation and not rubato.
Okay.
And I know that there were just a couple, hiccups here and there, not a problem. But don't let your rubato come across as hesitation. Let it be come across as typical. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So just like in that little section where you play the G major chords,
Hmm.
there was rubato there, but it sounded more like hesitation.
Yeah. I think I grabbed the chord wrong one time on that, and it was a whole, oh my
Right.
goodness thing. Okay. Yeah.
But it sounded good. It's come a long way, especially that difficult chord transition. You got that one down. You know the
No,
one
that's,
on the
yeah,
left.
yeah.
Good job.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, Monty.
Hey,
Good playing today.
thank you.
It's sounding really nice, and I think one of the things that would kind of take this up a level, besides all of the things we've already talked about, was really kind of listening to that melody and trying to connect it as much as you can. There are kind of some notes that get cut off too early, and it feels to me like sometimes maybe you're not thinking this way, but it sounds like you're thinking of kind of every one of those melody notes as a beat.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
not exactly sure I don't really know the piece, but
Mhm.
I think about the entire phrase as a whole, from start to finish, wherever that is find those bits and try
Mhm.
to connect those lines, to make them a little bit more smooth rather than kind of every single beat like
Yeah.
you're accenting.
Okay.
Because it's sounding good. I think that's just kind of your next step, with this piece.
Mhm. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, good work.
Thanks.
Other comments for Monty?
Good work, Monty. I admired you for your strength through the distraction of your cat there. You
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
even you didn't even falter. Your cat was like doo, 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 and you're just like
Yep. It's a common occurrence in this house.
yeah, yeah. But no, it's well done though. I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the cat.
Yeah, she loves to pop up out of nowhere.
It just jumps in front of the
Mhm.
video.
Does anybody need some chickens?
Oh, I love chickens.
Mr. Marshall, what did I tell you? I told you you would want to get rid of those things.
You have chickens, John?
Yeah, they're out in the yard playing in the front yard right now.
Can I
They
get some
don't-
egg? Can I get some eggs?
Yeah, you can have them when they start laying them. They don't leave the house. I thought they'd run away, but they just stay in the front yard all day.
We just got our chicks, so we've got plenty of them. We got like 20 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I told you they won't leave. I told you that.
Other comments for Monty?
Yeah, nice job just pushing through too.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's a hard thing to do sometimes, but it's like one thing of just trying to even though it hurts.
I don't know if anybody was at the performance last night, but Monty composed 3 little contemporary pieces. So maybe you'll share those with somebody, Monty, once you get the scores ready.
Yeah, definitely will. Happily.
What performance was that, John?
It was the GRCC Music Student Composers Concert.
Was it online?
Yeah, it was online last night, and then tonight is there's a vocal performance.
Okay.
concert report paper if anybody wants that.
Okay, well, maybe we should go on with the next performer. Who's going to play next? Okay,
So I have myself pulled up twice, so I don't,
Yeah.
how is the audio here?
it's good. Turn the other audio on a minute. Turn that one off and turn the other one. Let's see what that one sounds like.
All right, here,
Yeah, it doesn't work. So just do the phone one. Yeah.
a bunch of echoing there that just scared
That's
me.
right. I know. I forgot that when you have two and then two different devices.
Sorry,
it does
guys.
that. Yeah.
It's bad. I'm gonna, so it's not distracting me. Yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna leave the meeting there. Cool. Okay, am I good now?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to do short presentation. So I'm gonna be playing for you a study in C by Fernando Suhr. And he was born in, a few things on him. He was born in 1778, died in 1839. He was a Spanish classical guitarist and composer. A few things that I found that were kind of interesting about him was that he was known for being among the first to play the guitar as a classical concert instrument, and also for writing one of the earliest books of guitar methodology. And also another interesting thing is after his death, his compositions sort of fell into obscurity until 20th century rolled around and Andre Segovia sort of resurrected his stuff. So I thought that was kind of a neat fact about him as well. So my piece is in, as I said, it's a study in C. I actually had to analyze this piece for my Theory 2 class, which was really neat to have to do that. He uses a lot of authentic cadences and half cadences, a lot of kind of repetitive phrases with a little bit of differences in them there. But yeah, anyways, I enjoyed learning this piece, and here it goes. I can't really see myself. Can you, is this an okay angle? Okay. Excuse me. Sorry, I got really shaky at the end there and lost it.
And that ending really is one of the harder parts of the piece. I find.
Yeah,
You know,
I
to
get
make that
a little bit messed
work.
up with, yeah, that part and kind of transitioning there, but anyways.
Well, it's just the, there's a certain order that the fingers have to work in order, it's not just like playing the chord. It has to, there's a certain order the fingers have to work in to make it really sound right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If you look carefully at what SOAR has, it's, there's a like very precise fingering, right?
Yes, there is. And I think I normally get it. My right hand was just trembling and I missed it. And then,
I see.
so yeah.
So you did this for your theory project and this was theory 2?
Yes.
Well, do the B minor etude for the next one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just suggesting that one's a really good one. That has a lot of things. It's got Neapolitan sixth, and I think it has an augmented sixth chord in it. It has some, has some good. It's a good theory study to
Cool.
analyze. That's the B minor. It's not in the Segovia edition. It's number 5.
Okay. I'll remember that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy analyzing music. So yeah, I'll remember that for next semester.
I think it's in the level 6 book.
Oh,
Okay.
it is?
Thanks.
I mean, you can do whatever you want, but that one has a lot of nice harmony in it, and it's pretty straightforward to analyze, and it's a lot of the things that you do in your theory class that you get into. Have you done Neapolitan sixth? Yeah, you probably do that next semester, so that's why that one is a good one, because it has that certain chords in it.
Great job, Teresa.
Thanks, Mr. Marshall.
Yeah, so better you make those little mistakes now than in the jury, right?
Yes, sir.
So now you know the little spots that you really need to work on, and
Yeah.
that's the end of the piece.
Yes.
Also, if you can, it's such a short piece. Have you ever tried just visualizing the piece and playing it laying down, or just meditating and playing the piece that way?
Yeah, I fall asleep thinking about pieces sometimes. So I've been trying to add in like thinking about the structure of the piece and the dynamics, and I want to put more emphasis on certain spots and whatever, but I just can't seem to control my right hand well enough to do that yet. So keep working at it, but
Well, I mean, the more you perform, the better it's going to get.
Yeah.
I'll just say the best performances I've had were when I could just lay down on the couch and play the piece in my mind. Those have been the best performances I've had, when I was able to do that with the pieces. And it's such a small piece, so you could do that.
definitely.
But don't
Okay.
worry about the mistakes. Just practice as much as you can before the jury, and practice those little spots that you got mixed up on.
Okay. Thank you.
I was thinking when you said that John, that one way you can do it too, they can visualize like the musical ideas and things, but also you can visualize even playing it, like even air guitar, like play the piece. What is it, because a lot of players can do that. I've done that, and to me that really helps. I think there's different things you can work on, is without the guitar. You can think about the musical ideas of the piece and how that's going to be, how that sounds, but also you can actually visualize playing it. And I find if I can do that it really helps. And if I can't do it, then I work on it until I can do it, to really know it well enough that I could play the piece without the guitar.
I guess when I do it, it seems strange, but my brain functions as the right hand, and visually I'm seeing the left hand. That's kind of how I do it.
I kind of walk down the street looking like a spaz. I'm like, I'm like playing.
Oh, so that's what you were doing now. I'm just joking.
If you see me doing this, it's like I'm probably playing the Bach piece or something.
Yeah.
Going for a walk and just
Yeah.
Other comments for Teresa?
No, I just wanted to say very good. You've come a long way this semester. So it was some really great playing today. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you, God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Sorry, you go ahead, Greg.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, Teresa, that was really nice. Every time I see you play, it's always nice. So
Thank you, Greg.
Yeah, I was gonna say every time it seems that you play, your right hand becomes more confident. At least you show more confidence in knowing what you're doing with your right hand more, and I think that's really admirable and pretty awesome.
Thank you, Monty. I appreciate it.
Good job, Teresa. Keep it up.
Okay, so who would like to go next? David, Benji?
Sure, I will. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Wow. Okay. Come on, turn on. Okay, so my audio has been sounding a bit funny, so I think that might be my internet. So let's see how well it sounds on your end. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna be playing Prelude in C minor, the same piece as I played last week, and here it is. Thanks.
Nice, Benji. I think it's better than last week. Made some good progress on it.
I've been working on it a lot.
Yeah, it sounds very like like last week it sounded, I mean, you played it pretty well, but it sounded like there was a lot of effort left. This week it sounds like it's much easier for you. It sounds
Yeah,
like,
definitely is.
yeah, it seems like you're negotiating those left hand things pretty well. I did have one, not really a suggestion, because I'm not sure, I don't know this piece, so I don't know if this is what you want or not. But I'm wondering, so it's like you've got da da dee da, you get that idea in every chord. And is it da da dee da 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 dee da da, or is it da da? Do you see what I mean? Like you've could, so you play,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You're playing the top note, then you play another lower note, and then you resolve it.
Hmm.
That's kind of what the piece is built on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So what's it written? Is it written to go da da da, or is it written to go da da?
It's supposed to go da dum only
Okay.
2 times.
All right, so this is what I think you should do. You need to play you need to have less volume on the lower note. So it's because
Okay.
right now it sounds like da da da. It sounds like that. That's what I wasn't sure what it was. Do you see what I mean as a listener?
Okay. Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
then you would have to like I'm not sure what finger, but the 2 notes, well, certainly, and I think you're doing a nice job where you lean on the first note and you resolve the second. So you seem to understand that pretty well, but it's just that the in between note is a little too loud, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So you want me to go like that? Kind of have it so that the
Yeah,
second one.
I still think though it might be, that was better, but I think it's something about the way you're thinking about it. I think you might be thinking da da dum da da dum. It's da dum. Just see if you really focus on da dum dee dum. Just
Okay.
doing that. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it's partly technical, but it's also partly mental. You need to have a better concept. It's your musical concept of it. I think you were thinking of it as da da da. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that comes out
Yeah.
because you're just automatically how you think of the musical idea. It's kind of interesting how that, it's good. That's what you want, right? It's just you want to be clear about what the musical idea. Barwaco used to say, something like that. It's like, well, you're playing da da, and somebody else is playing the other stuff. I mean, not really, because you're playing everything, but that's what he would tell. I heard him tell a number of people that,
Yeah.
But again, I thought you played it really well. So that's just something you could play around with, see if that helps.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Sure. Other comments for Benji?
Hey, Kyle, can you go? Because you actually played that for a competition.
Yeah, well, I don't think I made it to that. I didn't make it to that round, but I did a ton of work on this piece.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta play well enough to get to that round. I didn't quite get there. There you are, Benji. Benji, I have a question. What edition are you playing?
What edition?
Yeah.
Oh, whichever edition Jonathan gave me. But
What's it called? Grover, right? Or something like that. Is that the name of it?
Stover?
Stover?
Yeah, Stover.
Yeah. I was watching your hand and I thought that might be the case. This piece is short. It's quite difficult because you have, like Mr. Morris was talking about, you really have 3 parts. You have the bass, the accompaniment, and then you have that melody that sits on top, right? So you have the balance to deal with. You also have all this kind of weird right hand shifting, and the Stover fingerings are terrible. So I'll tell you what I did, and maybe this will inform you, because the Stover editions are pretty good, although they do have some kind of note issues, and then his fingerings are pretty rough too. So what I did is I looked at different players playing this piece, specifically Berta Rojas and Jerome Ducharme. Jerome Ducharme has a really good version of this from the GFA in 2006 or 7, where I think he changes a couple notes here and there, and then substitutes some open strings. I'd have to look at the spot because it's been years since I played this to negotiate some of those changes. And you're playing it really well right now. What I would suggest is that you find ways to connect those chords rather than kind of playing chord, shift, chord, shift. That was my whole process when I was working on this piece, to get the whole thing really, really smooth.
Yeah.
And take a really deep dive, and you and Mr. Marshall can do this. Take a really deep dive into your fingerings and see if they're working for you, because this piece is notoriously hard. It's super short. but it's like hard on the left hand. So, I mean, you're playing it really well. So, I mean, you know, it's good. It's good where it is. I think if you wanted to, like, you know, take it a step further, start kind of looking at what other, you know, players were doing, and then try to come up with some of your own solutions to some of these issues, because there are some, like I said, there's some difficult stuff in there.
Yeah.
And what Mr. Morris was saying is really important too, the understanding what the melody is, and making sure not to play those inner voices, you know, in the way that they're popping out. So, but no, nicely done. It's good for you. You haven't been working on this that long, have you?
4 weeks, I think.
Oh, wow. That's great. Good stuff.
Now, I don't think Barrios wrote much of his music out. It was, a lot of it was improvised in concerts and stuff. And so when we get an edition, it was what somebody created from the performance that Barrios did. So it wasn't necessarily, that's why there might be some note differences in some of the versions.
Yeah, different players play different notes in different spots. There's if you compare versions side by side, you'll hear different notes.
Yeah, I actually noticed that when listening to people play it. I noticed that, and I was like, well, since I don't like the version the edition mine has for certain fingerings, I just took someone else's, or like different, slightly different notes. So I just.
Yeah, and I think it's okay because, you know, Barrios might have played it that different ways. You know, they might be getting it from a different performance. Barrios was kind of like improvising sometimes, you know, and he just may not play it the same way that he did the last time.
Yeah,
Kind of an amazing thing that he could do that, but that's what he did.
Yeah, Benji, I would really look deep into like Berta Rojas's recording and playing of this, because she's from Paraguay and is kind of the North Star for that type of music. So for his music specifically. So I would check that out.
Cool. Could you type the name into the chat box so that I could like copy and paste that somewhere?
Let me email it to you, because I'm on my phone and I don't know if I can work this there.
That works.
Good job, Benji. That's like way better than last week, I think. Just with that open, you know, the open G major chord I'm talking about, Benji, that you play in the middle of the piece. Yeah.
That one?
Yeah, so you do it twice. Maybe try on the last two notes of that whole system, you know, you play it twice. Slow down those last two notes so that when you come into that C minor chord and the, you know, with the fifth in the bass, with the G in the bass, that it's like a new section, you crescendo into that new section. Can you try it real quick? Just real quick.
Sure. So let's see where to start. I'm gonna start here.
Okay.
Kind of like that?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds good. It just, that's like the part of the middle of the piece where you have a break, right? That's where your hand can breathe a little bit, because you're playing a bar chord the whole time. Yeah, I mean, and like Kyle said, make sure you check out other fingerings. I know we probably looked at 3 or 4 different fingering options, but that E flat major chord you're playing, that is like a doozy, and it hurts my hand watching you play that chord. But once again, some of these chords only have like 2 options or maybe 3 options at most. So you really got to figure out what you want to do, you know. But I mean, I think your fingering's good right now, but I think a lot of this fingering and a lot of the playing can be remedied by musical decisions.
Yeah, like what we were talking about. Every 10 measures, take a 20-second break. That's a musical decision, right?
Well, not quite like that, but yeah.
Hey Benji, I just emailed you 2 YouTube versions, so you can check that out. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kyle.
Other comments for Benji?
Sounded good. I thought the accompaniment sounded really good underneath it all.
Thanks.
Sounded good, Benji. I enjoyed listening to it.
David, are you gonna play?
Yeah, I can play.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna play the Valsan Ray by Torrega. Oops. Thank you.
You wanna do it one more time?
You guys want to hear it again? Yeah.
Yeah, we wanna hear it. We got time.
Is that any? Was that different?
I could hear that really well.
Really well.
Yeah, it was good. Much better.
I changed my settings from auto in that suppress